Hello everyone, thanks for being here. My name is Cedric and I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Avonni. So I will be the host for this webinar. This webinar is the first one of a series of webinars that will be given in the following weeks. With those upcoming webinars, we will get through more advanced skills with some specific demo. Today's webinar is a basic introduction about Avonni Creator. I will review and I will show you some of the main features of the tool. And I will also build a live demo of a quote builder page. And if you get questions, don't hesitate to ask me anything you want during the presentation, or at the end of the presentation, I will be very happy to answer your question you may have over the chat. For those who are new to Avonni Creator, let me give you a very quick introduction and overview about what is Avonni Creator. Avonni Creator is an interactive and prototyping tool for Salesforce Lightning. It helps you sketch any Salesforce application by drag and dropping Lightning element that comes from the Salesforce Lightning Design System framework. And I will say one of the main goals is really to give you a complete sense of the experience when you design your prototypes. So when you design, create, or even design, share, or present your design. For example, you can create or configure clickable action, and you can navigate through your design the exact same way as you do on Salesforce. Before diving into the tool, into Avonni, I'd like to put the emphasis on the importance of doing a prototype during a Salesforce project, because this is often undervalued. So you have some specific reason and good reason to start from a prototype for your Salesforce project. The first one is you save time, because the more you learn about the design process, during the design process, the faster the implementation will be on Salesforce. Second, you save money, because when doing a prototype, the development cycle becomes shorter, and so the development process is more cost efficient. Then stop building unnecessary features, because going back on the drawing board involves developers and designers, and it represents a lot of wasted time and effort. And finally, get feedback quickly, because stakeholders won't be able to tell you what they want until they see it. So the sooner you get the feedback, the quicker you can design something that people want. And last thing I would like to mention about Avonni as an introduction, it's the improvement we made every week on the tool. So almost every week, we had new features, and we made some improvement of our existing features. For example, we just added this week, last week I think, the new element and new templates. So you have new elements like the carousel, the trees. You also have access to new templates to give you ID to customize and to start your design without having to start it from scratch. On the interaction part, you can now design and create your modal boxes. And on the sharing part, you can now share your design in preview mode with a public URL. So when you give that URL to anyone, they can automatically see and play with your design without having to create an Avonni Creator account. So let me go over a very quick overview of the tool, and let's start with the user interface. So I'll just switch my screen here. To show you the tool. just trying to share the right screen for you. It won't be long. So now you see my screen with the Avonni Creator tool. So as a quick overview of the tool, I will start with this page, which is the start page of Avonni. So on the left sidebar, you have access to various items to find the design you're looking for. If you're looking for design that are shared with you, or all design. And on the main part, you can view your design. If you want to create a new design, you can click on New Design button. So with Avonni, you can choose from 6 types of design, which are those 6. The first one, the first 2 designs are part of our free plan, and the other design are part of our paid plan. For this webinar, I will design a quote builder page inside a Lightning Experience app design. So I will open a Lightning Experience app design right now to show you the user interface and how you can customize and create your design. Here I am on the editor view. So this is where I can interact and create or customize my design. Here at the left, you have access to the element pane. So this is really the starting point of your design. You have access to all the Salesforce Lightning design element from there. You have a lot. So you can navigate through to really find what you're looking for. So this is for the element. And now you have templates. So templates are something we create on our side to give you our idea to customize your design, because we don't want you to start your design from scratch. So you have access to various templates to start and your design. So if you want to use a template, just drag and drop into your design, and then you will be able to customize and use your template. Just remove it. Here. So this is my main canvas. If I want to edit any element, I can click on an element. For example, here I am on my today's task, and on the side panel, I can have access to various settings for each element. For example, here I can change the label of a button. But I will show you and explain that to you in the demo that will come in the few minutes. So this was for the editor. On the preview side, this is where you can preview your design to have an idea about what you just built. And with the public URL we just launched this week, this is the view users will have access to give you feedbacks or to try your design. And I can interact with the design, for example, on the Salesforce navigation menu. Click on contact, then I can click on a link for a contact, and I'm already redirected on the record page. So let's get back on the editor view. You also have access to, yes, one thing I'd like to mention, it's the conversation and the guideline view. It's really out of the scope for now for this webinar, but it's useful to show you how you can use the conversation view. So this is really where you can view all the comments that are highlighting in your design. For example, here I have 3 comments. If I click on it, I can view all the comments from all the people who have access to the design, and I can even share an update from there or write a comment. And you also have guideline, which the guideline is really where developers and designers can work together with some specification around your design. Let's get back on the editor view. And now I will do the demo of creating a quote builder page for this Lightning Experience app design. I will create the new page. I will select here from the page navigation menu. So I will select new page to create new pages. What is great about Lightning Experience app design as other type of design like the Lightning Flow design and communities design, it's that you can create multiple pages inside your design. So I will create my new pages here for the quote. And I will select record page for this quote. Select the record page, click on next. Then I will choose the template. You have access to all templates from the standard object on Salesforce. For the quote, I will select the custom object. Then I will click on next. Now I can choose a layout. So you can select up to 4 layouts. The first one is the header and the left sidebar. Then you have the header and 1 column, the header and right sidebar, and then the header and 3 column. I will select the header and 1 column here. Select next. I will give a name to my page. For example, it's quote. Click on save. Automatically, Avonni will create my page based on the template and on the layout I just selected. Now I'm on my quote page. It's already pre-built, and I can work around that. I will start by the page header. First, I will customize the icon. So I will click on the icon, and when I click on the icon, I will have the information and the settings about that icon. I will choose for this demo, as it's a quote builder page, I will choose a quote icon. I can quick find the quote icon with the search engine, select the quote icon. Now I will customize my breadcrumb with the quote. For the title, I will give quote number 5, for example. So this is for my page header. I can customize my button action at the right. So by default, I have edit and delete button. If I want to add a new button, I can use the duplicate features here, clicking on the duplicate features, and now I can edit the third button. For example, let's call it clone. Now I have my clone button. I'm still on the page header. Last part, it's here about the detail blocks, which are the compact layout you find on Salesforce. Here I just need, for example, 4 blocks, and I will customize each of my block. For example, the first one will be a variant text. Let's say, call it a quote number, give a value, which is my quote number I just trying to design. A second one, I will put the opportunity name. So we'll select a link, enter a label, and a value. So it will be webinar, for example, June. Third one will be another text. Let's say expiration date, we'll enter value. And the last one on my detail block, I will choose checkbox, and we call it thinking to mimic a thinking checkbox button. So this is for the page header on my quote builder page. Now for the main content, we just remove that because it was already pre-built, but I will not need it. What I want to have on my quote builder, it's really to show and display some basic quote information here, and then over just below the basic quote information, I will have a table with the product name, the description. Then I will add the quantity, unit price, and so on. So we need to be able to edit product, add product, and this is what I will design right now. So to have my main content, I will use a card. So here I have various types of card. I will select the first one. So with the card, I can put any element inside the card. I can build my code builder within this. So I select the card. We just remove the icon. I will not need it. Edit the title, for example, quote information. And now here on my card settings, I select body, it's already selected, footer to have the body and the footer, and then boundary to have borders around the card. Now I can add content. Here I want to display basic quote information, for example, like the start date, the subscription terms. I will also add the expiration date, maybe also a status. And I want to have all this information in 3 columns. To have and to design a column, I will use a GURD. So the GURD, it's really maybe one of the most useful elements and maybe one of the most important elements to use when you start your design, because it gives you the layout of what you want to build. So we drag here a GURD over my content. By default, here I have a GURD of 2 columns. As I said, I want to have 3 columns to display the basic quote information in 3 columns. And then I will set manual sizing, because as you can see here, it's completely at the left. We select manual sizing, and with manual sizing, I have the option to customize the layout of my column. By default, it's equal layout, 3 columns equally. But if I want, I can put maybe a smaller column as the first one, bigger as the second one, and a smaller again as the third one. So you can adjust the layout as you want. For this example, I will use equal columns. Now I will be able to add my fields for my basic quote information. Let's start for the start date. So here I am on the view page for my quote. So the field I need to add, it's an output field. Here I can drag an input and output in my first column, and I can edit the label and the value. So the start date, and then the values today's date. But as you can see, the label and the value are not next to each other. And I would like to have the start date next to the value, which is the actual today's date. So if I want to have the start date and the date next to each other, I need to use a form layout, and I will show you why. So the form layout is here, and I will drag the form layout on my GURD in my first column, and I will select here the element to put it in my form layout. And now, if I select the form layout, on the settings on the form layout, I can specify the layout I want to have for the information inside my form layout. It's stacked by default. We set it to horizontal, and now I have my label next to my value. And I can use the duplicate features to add another field here. And now I will edit the date. For example, it would be, let's call it a quote line view, and the value would be standard. So this is my two first field. I will select the first one. Maybe I want to add a border, so I can add a border, and I will add a border at the bottom here, solid, just to have the border, and I can do the same for the second output. Solid. If I switch on the preview, I can have a preview of what I've just designed. As you can see, that's quite good. Maybe not perfect because I can play with some margin to put spaces inside, outside the element. For example, here we select margin to put some spaces. Yeah, maybe it's too big. So now this is my first column. I can copy, duplicate the form layout, and I will just drag it into my second column. And I will do the same. I can revert. I will do the same for the third column, and I will just edit the content of my field. So here we'll say terms, let's say, for example, 12 months. And here I will have status. And it will be approved. And expiration date. And we will set the expiration date. And then I can have the last one. It will be, for example, the net amount. And I will enter a value, for example. So this is for my basic code information. You can switch on the preview to have a preview of how my design looks like. That's quite good. Let's get back to the editor. Another thing that would be very good for my design is to put maybe a path to give information about where I am in the status. So here, I have my province, my path. I can put a path here, and I can set up the number of steps I would like to have. For example, here I will need maybe, let's say, 5 steps. And I will edit the first steps will be, I think, draft. Then, so you have the label here. So this is what will be displayed in the indicator, and then you have the value. So this is the value you would like to send to Salesforce when you change the information. So the second one will be, for example, needs review. Then I have approved, and then rejected, and then the last one would be accepted. And so on this path, I can put a default status by clicking on the small dot. So status is set to approve. So let's get back on this quote information. Now I will add my table to display the product I'd like to have on my quote. This is not where I want to add the table because it was added on the footer. I'm just trying to. Let's do it again. table. I will put a table here. So this is my table. So I can customize the number of columns I would like to have on my table. Let's say I would like to have 8 columns, for example. The first one will be empty because I will add some specific icon here. The second one will be the product name. Then description, quantity, let's say unit price, discount, for example, discount, and then total. And I will also add a last one with no value. I will show you why. So this is my table. I can select, for example, a row action. So we'll add some checkbox. Yes, I think Maria, where is an end? Do you have a question? Let me check that. I don't have any chat messages. Does someone have a specific question about what I'm trying to build right now? If not, I will continue my the design of this code builder. If you have any question, yes. Can you show again? What do you mean by chevron tool? If you want to add an icon as a chevron, or yes, on the quote here. Yes. So for that, to have the path, I use the progress path indicator, or you can use the path. Is basically the same, and yes, it's here. And maybe quick info, you can search for a specific element. For example, if I enter path, I can find exactly the right element here. So this is where you can find the path to put the path inside your design. You're welcome. So let's get back to my table. So I just add the column. I select row action to have the checkbox here. Now I will put some style on my table. I will select row over. So when I just move my mouse, I will add some border on my table. So this is my table. Now I will add element into this table. For example, I will start with an icon for my product. So we'll use custom icon here. We'll duplicate this icon to put it there. Now for the product name, I will put a link, for example, here. We'll call it, for example, the first one. Let's call it call center bundle. And then I will duplicate the product name. Here it will be analytics, for example. And the third one would be, let's say, another product. It would be the bot assistant. Maybe I will choose the different icon just to be sure that it's real. Yes, you can. You can import images like company logo. So you have a specific element to import images. If you tap image, you can drag an image here and choose or upload your image. And you can put your image here and set specific settings for your image, like the width and the height. Let's get back to my icon. We choose, for example, the cool one. Analytics, I think you have an icon like feed, I think, yeah. And then the bot assistant, I also think you have bot. So now let's add some description. Here I will add some description. Oh, it's a really long description. I will just remove the help content here. So I can now duplicate that description. I will do the same for the quantity, but I will edit the quantity 4, for example, and do this for the rest. I will not edit the quantity for each line. I don't want to take too much time. It's the same for the unit price. Yes. What do you mean by simulate the flow of a call with this tool? Simulate the flow of this call. Yes, yes, you can. And I will do that in a few minutes. So I'm just finishing the table and then I will show you how you can add link between pages or create interaction. And this is one of the powerful features inside Avonni. Discount, so it would be a percent, for example. And the last one with the total. So it's really, it's not real values, but really to give you, to let you understand what you can do with that. And I have the last column here, which I give no name for that column because I want to add a button menu action. So if I click on button, I can select the button menu here. And now I can set the size. For example, we set to small, and I can put my item. For example, let's say edit or maybe delete. And I can copy that button for the other line. So if I switch on preview mode, I will have here my button to view the action. I can also play, maybe it's not good to have the button action content item on the left, so I can select, for example, menu alignment to the right. It would be really more useful. If I go back and preview. Yes, now it's on the right, so it's not on my at the end of my screen. I just finished my table for this quote. It's you are reading a quote, but now I will add some button because I think it would be great if you can add new product or maybe edit existing product with, for example, an inline editing. So I will just put button just at the top of my table here, and for that I will use a girl again. Just drag my girl. So now I have my girl of 2 columns, and something is great with the girl, you can play with alignment. For example, here my 2 columns for my girl are set at the left, but I want to have it at the right of my table. So I will set the horizontal alignment, for example, or the vertical alignment, and I will set end. And now I have my 2 columns at the end. So I can select a button here to add the first button, for example, add product, and I will set a variant. So the variant, it's the appearance for the button. I will select brand. And I will add another button here. Let's call it edit. I can also play with maybe I will play with the margin, so to put some spaces, and put also a margin over that button. Okay, that's great. So, and maybe on the girl, I will put bottom margin here as well. Okay, so I have my 2 buttons. If I switch on preview, just to have a quick overview. Edit and add product, that's perfect. But I want to make that button, I want to get to give life to that button, and I will create action for that button. So I select the add product button, and here on my sub panel, I have the action. So I select the action tab, and as you can see, you can define specific action. For example, I can say, okay, the add product button, I want you to have and set a link to another page, or open an external link, or even more, create a modal box. So I will do the modal box creation for the add product. We set medium, either I want to have either footer or open model. So now this is my modal box for the add product. And you can customize anything. You should not get that, but for example, add product. And then I will select a template. I have a specific template, so it saves me a lot of time. And okay, so now I have my template with my button here with my button here. So if I close that, if I click on preview, I can now play and interact with my design. Add product, it opened the model I just created. Maybe let's get back here, and I will just edit that button. Let's say no next, but save. And just set up my modal box for my add product. Now I want to make the edit clickable, and I want to be able to create an inline editing of my table. So for that, I will duplicate this page. So to duplicate the page, you have access to the navigator icon at the bottom left on the screen, and you have access to all the pages inside your design. And for a specific page, I can duplicate or copy any page I want. So I will just copy this page, and it gives me that page, I think, quote copy. And I will rename by quote edit. So it's exactly the same page, but this is for the edit table. So I will do some minor changes. For example, here, as I'm on the edit view, I will remove the edit button, and the add product button, I will select disable because I'm on the edit view for my code. And now I will also change some specific element. For example, the quantity, it will not be an output, it will be an input because I want to be able to set or change the quantity. So if I search for input, here I will select, add the input element. And now on the variant, I will hide the label. I will remove the placeholder text, and it will be a number. Or if I want, I can put a placeholder of 4. And I can copy that for the other line. And I will do the same for the discount. So we put the discount here. Just remove the output. Just edit maybe the placeholder, percent. And so this is it. I just finished my code edit page. So now I will go back on my original code page to set the action for the edit button. So here on the edit button, I will set an action to set, okay, I would like to open the code edit page when I click on the edit button. So if I go back on preview, I can click on edit and I'm automatically redirected on the edit page. Maybe one thing I forgot to add on the edit page, it's maybe to have some save or cancel button. So I will use here a GURD of 2 columns, and I will set the alignment to center. And now I can add my button here. So I will have my save button with the variant brand, and I can use another button to cancel, for example. Now and I can put, okay, when I click on save, let's get back to the code view. If I go on preview again, so this is my edit for the code, I click on save, and now I'm redirected on my original code view. So this is really powerful because you can really make and design an high fidelity prototype with some clickable action. And now, if I want, I can also go on the opportunity page, because I think that on my opportunity page, I have a quote here, a quote component. So if I go back on the editor for this page, I will set an action to redirect. So if I click here on the link, let's say I want to be redirected to the quote page. So if I switch to the preview mode for the opportunity, I can now click on that quote to automatically be redirected on the quote page. And I can do the same with an opportunity name to set an action to be redirected to the opportunity page. Let's get back on the editor. I think we're set for this code builder. This is really a quick introduction about what I would like to show you about the main features of Avonni Creator. So it's a really basic code builder page, but I really want to show you how you can easily design any Salesforce application, any ideas you may have. You have everything ready to use on Avonni to create exactly what you want. So I don't know if you have a specific question about this webinar, about this demo. I just show you. If you have, feel free to chat with me and I will be very happy to answer your question. If you don't have any question on my side, this is done for what I would like to show you on this webinar. So I really hope you like the webinar, and I hope that you had all the understanding about how you can use Avonni Creator for your design process. And if you have any more questions, feel free to chat with us within the application. So you have here the chat icon to directly interact with us through Avonni. And you will be kept updated about upcoming webinars with more advanced skills or specific demo, and you will know that in the coming weeks. So thank you very much again for your time, and feel free to chat with us if you want to have more detailed information. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.